Hi, I'm Kyla Ledingham. I'm the grounds manager here at Innovation Place in Saskatoon. Innovation Place is a Crown corporation with the goal of helping grow Saskatchewan's tech sector. And within Innovation Place, we have the Garden Park, which is where we are now. The landscape at Innovation Place was developed in 4 core areas. One area representing the urban landscape in the province, another representing the agricultural landscape, and a third area representing the northern boreal forest region of the province. The Garden Park was developed as its own small themed area that was meant to create an oasis within the city for our tenants. When you come in here, you see that there's nowhere else like it in the park. It's very much an English cottage garden theme, and it's fenced in entirely with plants, and once you come in here, you're in your own little world and you can separate yourself from the urban environment or your office space. The purpose of that is to provide an area for relaxation for our tenants, but also to provide an area where there can be outdoor networking and communication between the tenants to help them in their research goals. So this is the koi pond at Innovation Place. You can see in the architecture that they wanted to blend the more rustic appeal of a cottage garden. So we have this raw stone and lots of flower beds, but also blend it with the more urban side of the park and the patio. And you can see the contrast between the two edges. As for the maintenance of the pond, it is actually a lined pond, so it looks very natural and we maintain it as an ecosystem, but it's a completely artificial habitat. To maintain it every year, we treat it with beneficial enzymes and bacteria. There's no chemicals that go into the pond, and we maintain a balance of plant life and aquatic animals, which is where our koi come in. Each spring we put the koi in, and they are lovely to look at, but they also maintain or control our mosquito population within the pond and maintain organic levels so that the water clarity is where we want it. In the fall, we have to catch them and put them in a large holding tank that we keep back at our shop, and they also go inside our buildings. We have a few water features there that we'll put some of the koi in so people can still visit them. We also have water lilies in the pond that are in pots. Because we turn this into a skating rink in the winter, the ice has to form quite thick and we can't overwinter any of the plants, the water lily plants. So we take all those pots out and maintain them in a trough system where they go dormant. The plants in the pond are as important as the koi for maintaining water clarity. So we do, as I said, have the water lilies. We also have quite a few native plants around the perimeter of the pond and in the stream, and they function to remove the nutrients that would cause an algae bloom. So this walkway here was one of the design features of the garden park originally. It actually was a picture in a magazine that the president at the time saw and said, I would really like to have that in the park, and our landscape architects were nice enough to make it happen. When you're standing here, you're actually standing on one of the central axes of the park as well. By standing here, I can see this viewpoint of this bench, and I can also see the pond, and I can see the waterfall from the pond, and some really lovely flower beds this way. So no matter where I look standing in this point in the garden park, I can see something that is a beautiful view. This specific view is of a bench in front of an espalier tree. It's a pear tree, and you can see that it is flat against a wall and has branches coming out laterally. It's actually a very ancient technique that was developed in medieval times as a way to grow food inside of castle walls without taking up space. So you wanted your food source inside of your castle wall so that it was safe if you were under siege, but you didn't want to use up space, so they would flatten their trees out along the wall so they would still have food crops within the walls. Just outside of the north gates of the garden park, we have the Orchard Walk here at Innovation Place. It's one of our main arteries within the park to connect two areas. When it was designed, they were hoping to mimic the cherry blossom season, which you get out in BC. In Saskatchewan, that means apple trees. So we have a row with apple trees on both sides of the sidewalk, which gives you spectacular blooms in the spring. And during the late summer and early fall, the public can come and harvest the apples that are available. Over the years, we have tried to transition to an entirely edible landscape. So along with the apples, you'll also find Nanking cherries, which will be ripening up right away, grapes, and hascamp, rhubarb, some raspberries. We're trying to really diversify and get more variety in there. So when you come to harvest, all we ask is that you're careful of the plants, bring a step ladder, get some apples, and go home and make some jelly. So this is the dry garden at Innovation Place. It was put in as a place where our tenants could come and find an extra moment of relaxation and meditation. We hand rake it and sweep it every day. And when you're looking at the dry garden, some interesting things are that the rocks and the trees around it are all representative of mountains. And the gravel represents water that's flattened out, and the circles in it represent a drop in the water and the ripples that creates. So everyone is welcome to come and walk down the path and sit on the viewing rock that we have and hopefully find a moment's worth of peace. Well, thank you for watching our video of the garden park at Innovation Place. We hope you come and enjoy it in person.